Just Talk Black Show. Disclosure Statement. Disclaimer. The views and opinions shared on the Just Talk Black Show are those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the show, its sponsors, or affiliates. This show is a space for open, honest, and respectful dialogue within the Black community. Some conversations may include sensitive topics, strong language, or personal opinions that are intended to spark thought and encourage positive change. Listener discretion is advised. All guests are responsible for the accuracy of their statements and agree to participate voluntarily. By appearing on the show, guests give permission for their audio, video, and likeness to be recorded and distributed across Just Talk Black's platforms. Let's talk real. Let's talk truth. Let's just talk black.
Just Talk Black with DJ Purpose. Every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just talk. 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 Just talk. 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 Just talk. Just talk black. Black. Talk black. Black. Talk black. Black. Talk black. Black. Just talk black. And I don't think that I'm wrong. They keep telling me to put it in a song, but I won't, cause it's already one. It goes do-do-do-do, uh-huh. And I don't think that I'm wrong. They keep telling me to put it in a song, but I won't, cause it's already one. It goes do-do-do-do, uh-huh. Do-do-do-do.
Hello, guys, and welcome to the Just Talk Black Show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys back. I can see you guys in the room. It is a pleasure to see you guys in the room. How's your weekend been? How's your day been going? I hope it's been going really good, and it's been a positive day for you. So today we have a special guest on the show. You know, we're going to be diving deep into some stuff, into the potency of godfathers or godparents, let's talk about, and models, like role models in the Black community. So this is what we're going to be diving in, and this is the Just Talk Black Show. So if you are new to the show today and it's your first time, please let me see a thumbs up in the chat if you're new today. You know, come on, we just need some interaction today. So put a thumbs up, put a like, let me see you in the chat. I really want to see you guys in the chat. And remember, we do have a phone in line. So if you are interested in phoning in and answering some questions about the topic that we are talking about, or even ask the guest Martin today about what are, you know, the roles of godparents. That is one that we are really going to dive into. And role models within the Black community is needed. It's definitely needed, 100% needed. But I'm just going to quickly bring up what we're going to be doing next week, guys. So next week we have the first ever panel discussion, Black Men's Time. These guys are going to be, we are going to be diving deep into Black men's world. These guys are going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be talking about the Black culture. So we're going to be diving into many different topics along the way. And guys, you have the opportunity to call in and ask the questions. Sometimes, you know, when they do say stuff and you want to say, well, I don't really agree with that. Listen, this is what the Just Talk Black Show is about. Give us a call and we can get you on live on air. So guys, please smash that like button. Please smash that like button. We need to get this channel out there. Without you guys, this channel will not go any further. And this channel is what pushes Black people in our community, the ones who maybe don't get their voice aired out. This is their opportunity. So we give everybody within the Black community a chance to come on and tell us about your testimony or even about your business. So I'm going to bring our guest Martin, and he's going to just tell us a little bit about himself.
Hey, good greetings, good greetings. Blessings to you, first and foremost, DJ Purpose. My name is Martin Stevens. I'm a author, a speaker, a husband, a father of 13, and yeah, I'm here to share about my passion and one of the books that I've written called Raising Up Role Models.
Right, Martin. You said one book, but I know you've got two books. Is that correct?
Well, on Amazon, I actually have about 20 books, but yeah, I guess I can get into that a little bit more later, but they kind of all spiral or stem from these key two books that I've done, Raising Up Role Models and Grand Legacy of Regal Years. Yeah. I'm also an artist as well, both spoken word as well as rap artist and a writer, ghostwriter.
So
Yeah.
you're a rap artist and you do music. What type of music do you do, by the way?
Okay, so it's primarily rap as an artist myself, with my foundations being in the gospel. So there's always the undertones, but it's done, I feel, in a way that's very relevant and speaks to the language of the streets. And I feel I've got my ear to the ground, so I'm always trying to keep relevant.
So you said you are a father, and you see the topic for next week where we're diving into black men. It's black men's time to speak up and stuff. So being a father,
Yeah.
just tell us a little bit about how it is for you as a black man being a father, and how do you cope with being a father?
Yeah. Okay. So great question. I find it rewarding, especially because I'm here. I'm able to see them. I'm able to be inspired by them. My children are absolutely amazing. I guess I want to bring some clarity because I did say that I'm a father of 13. And for those who are watching, they might be thinking, well, how on earth is he looking so young and still a father of 13? I say 13 because I actually have three children, but the rest are both godchildren and, well, official godchildren and unofficial godchildren. But with the three that I have, they're absolutely amazing. All three of them have different personalities, but I love them all equally, but yet to some degree differently because of their characteristics.
So let's get into the role models like of a godparents. Let's dive deep into that. So first
Okay,
of
sure.
all, what is a godparent in your eyes?
So a godparent in my eyes, well, let me answer that from the perspective of what I felt a godparent was, especially from the perspective of when I was asked to first be a godparent. So I believe that my views are similar to many, that a godparent is a person who, should anything happen to the parents of a newborn, you have been selected to be a possible alternative that would then take on or adopt the child and become, their parents. That was the understanding that I had at the time, and I believe that that is kind of the idea that many people today have of that role. However, um, because of what inspired me to write this book, I now realize that that's not really the case, and that the role of a godparent is actually largely far deeper, far more important, far more relevant and poignant than just being a mere stand-in. It's something that should be embraced on a daily basis, if not weekly or monthly. So, yeah, yeah.
So when you say based on, it should be on on a daily basis. What do you mean by daily basis? How can we do it on a daily basis?
Okay, so this probably might be easier to understand if you're a parent yourself already. So, in the same way how if you're a parent, you would be mindful of your children on a daily basis. The role of a godparent really is a role where you're mindful of your godchildren just with that similar intensity. So even as I said in the opening that I'm a father of 13, I say that because I'm mindful of them. they're important to me, and I've got to have them included, and not necessarily keep account of them, but just to know that they're there, that I don't forget about them. For example, if I was to, or if we was to ask a group of people if they're a godparent, and they had a few godchildren, and we was to ask them how many godchildren they had, they might be like, well, okay, I've got 4. No, wait a minute, I've got 5. Oh, 6.
Mm.
It's that kind of a afterthought type of thing that
Yeah.
I've experienced along this way, along this journey, with people that I've interviewed, and I've interviewed many people. Um, but I really want to have it to become a culture. I want to have it identified as a thing where you should be mindful and know who your godchildren are. I've got my formula and it works for me, and I share all my strategies and tips in my book so that it hopefully helps other people as well. For example, my formula is I'm able to arrange the initials of each of their names into an acronym that helps me to remember them.
Mm.
So for me, it's Jasmine's JAZZMN. Sorry, JASSMNZ.
Yeah.
So that's Jay, Ashley, Shayna, Shamal, Mia, Nia. Sorry, Michaela, Nia, and Zephaniah.
So you got a little formula going. I love that formula actually. So just tell us,
Yeah,
where does the term godparents come from? Where did that actually come from?
great question. Okay, so it's something that came around from the 2nd century. It was introduced in uh, the Catholic Church, actually, and it was known as individuals who were to be sponsors. So they would be there to be a support to the family with regards to the faith and raising the child up in the same faith or the same belief as the parents, just to be like that positive reinforcement, which is exactly what the godparent role is supposed to be and should be today, a positive reinforcement to the individual, to the child. So it started way back then in the Catholic Church, but it was embraced by the Christian Church. And I say embraced because it's not a role that you'll find in the Bible. It's not a term that you'll find in the Bible. In fact, there's no godparents or anything like that in the Bible itself. But yet still the church embraced it and thought it was a good idea. So even to this day, whenever a christening takes place in a church, you have your godparents that will come up to the front alongside of the parents, and they'll be appointed officially there and then. But that's pretty much it. And even as I said at the beginning, it's like they're just sharing. So they're inviting them to be the godparents, but that's pretty much all they know, that they're going to be almost alternative parents. But there's a lot more involved in the role than just being that.
So involving the role, when you're saying involving the role, what roles, what does that entail of being a godparent? Because I'm a godparent, you know what I mean? And yeah,
Okay,
I'm a
okay.
godparent, so which is good, which is very
Yeah. So
good.
this is
So
cool.
what are some of the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing as a godparent, would you say?
Fantastic. Okay, so well, this is great. I didn't know you was a good parent, so this would be great and relevant for you along with all the other listeners as well. So the role of a good parent, I'm going to give you some examples from the actual role, and I'll also incorporate some things that I've suggested, along the way. So the role is there to be that extra support, um, and it's done in a way where you embrace the child as if it's your own, really. Especially, and this is something that's adopted in other countries, other cultures, especially in Greece. Man, a godchild is almost as if it's their own child. But those roles include just regularly checking up on them, being their accountability partner, when they're of age, when they're up in age, but being that support. So whether it's to support by buying nappies or buying the stroller, getting formula, just checking in on their well-being as they get older, helping them with their homework, or finding out how their day was is a key one. You know, those are really simple and inexpensive things that a godparent can be doing and should be doing indeed. And to incorporate some of my ideas, when I wrote this book, I wrote it at a time when this was before COVID. So everyone was busy. Everyone was doing their own thing. No one had time for anything extra. So my formula was, how can I bring in this role of a godparent and wake up a whole army of sleeping godparents and get them to embrace this their role in a way where it works around their busy lifestyle. And what I came up with, which is something I include in the book, is that you just check in on them at least once a month. Just check in on them once a month. So, for example, yourself, DJ Purpose, you said you're a godparent. If I was to say to you, pick a number between 1 and 28, what number would you pick?
1 and 28, probably 10.
10.
Yeah.
All right. And I'd ask that same question to the listeners as well. So, whatever number they pick between 1 and 28, and then I say to you right now, you've chosen 10.
Yeah.
Your challenge, or the challenge that I put to you now, is on the 10th of every month going forward. It's your time, it's your day to pick up the phone and contact your godchild. If they're too young to speak to you directly, you speak to their parents,
Yeah.
and it's just a checkup call to say, hey, look, you know what? Just touching base just to find out how little man or how Rebecca or Jonathan is doing. Um, you know, and your extra challenge is that that phone conversation should last no less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a minimum 5 minute conversation once a month is the minimal require that this book is asking or challenging every godparent to instill and to take up and to apply. And I promise you or guarantee you
Yeah.
that you'll see a huge difference in the relationship that you have with them and with the parents as well.
So why do you think it's important for the black family? Because this is a black show. This is what we do. We talk about the black community. Why do you think,
Mm,
it is, I think especially needed within the black community. It's something that we do need to
absolutely.
really embrace. Even myself, I always talk about myself, need to take
Okay.
that role a bit more serious. But just tell us why it's really
Hmm.
important, so the listeners who are godparents out there as well can really get an understanding and make us really like change our way that we think about this role.
Yeah, so I think that's another great question. I think it's vitally important for the black community. Why? I would say because we tend to have an issue with things like accountability. I feel like we tend to pass the buck. I feel like we also have a short attention span. And I also feel like in this age of having fewer and fewer gatekeepers, it's almost as if, we're a law unto ourselves. We can make our own decisions and do our own thing, and we've got nobody kind of checking on us, or no one that we can report to. But if we was to flip the script and realize that the role of a godparent, and as much as we're talking about godparents, if you're not a godparent and you understand this strategy and you see the importance of it as well, you could be a mentor. It works just the same. You could be an aunt or an uncle. It works just the same. Having that individual in your life that loves you and cares for you and has your back and is there to check in on you at least once a month with a 5 minute phone call. Remember, I'm saying that's the least. So you can do a lot more than that. You can check in more frequently if you want to, but I'm saying at the bare minimum, one phone call once a month, 5 minute phone call to check in. After the second or third, maybe fourth interaction of you being consistent of making those calls, you'll see the difference. It will be a thing where, like what I experienced, they're expecting your call on that particular date that you've chosen. Then they're also expecting the questions. And one of the questions that I recommend as an open question, you always try and find open questions, not closed questions. One of the open questions is, tell me 3 things that you've learned this week. And that causes them to dive into their minds and think about what they've learned this week so that they can relate to you. And if you've done that 2 or 3 times, by the time you call them again next, they know what they're expecting you to ask them. So they'll be in the weeks running up to the date that you're gonna call them, they'll be like, oh, you know what? Uncle DJ Purpose is gonna call me. I have this answer ready for him. So when you call, they're gonna tell you, "Oh, Uncle, I learned this, da da da, and I learned that, da 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 da, and I also read this book, da 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 da." And then what you're going to find after that as well, by the fifth or sixth phone call, they'll be asking you, DJ Purpose, what did you learn this month?
Yeah,
What new
definitely.
things have you learned this week?
So it's about building a relationship, as one of our guests just put in
Yeah.
the chat. It's about building that relationship. So one of our guests is saying it's true. It's more than buying gifts and birthdays and Christmas. It's all about basically building a relationship. So true.
Yeah.
So
1000%.
true. I
Thousand
truly
percent.
believe in that buying gifts is good. Um,
Mm.
Christmas, birthday, they look forward to that. But building
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, come on, like this is what
Yeah.
it's about,
Yeah.
And when you're building a relationship, what it does, it makes that child have that belief in you. Am I correct? It believes in you. So in a sense, when they
Mm.
are going through their trials and tribulations, that they can call
Mm.
you and they can talk to you, and maybe what is not their friend, but they can come to you as a godparent and say, look, I'm going through this problem. But because we are building relationship with a child, which is very important. I'm learning a lot today. I'm definitely learning a lot. It's an eye opener.
That's good. That's good. And it's also part of my tagline as well. So as much as the book is called Raising Up Role Models, in this time that we're living in, all they really need is time, love, and discipline. And if you give it, then you'll find they'll be listening, become
Say that again. Say
responsible
that
and
again so
kind
the
to their
audience can
fellow
hear.
men and fellow women.
Say that part
I'm
again for the
dropping
audience.
bars.
Yeah, say that. Say that line again. I want to hear that line again. What does the book say there? Read it out for us again.
So I said, in this time that we're living in, all they really need is time, love, and discipline. And if we
Wow.
give it, then you'll find that they'll be listening, become responsible and kind to their fellow men and fellow women.
I love that. So
Mm.
people are actually saying that one of the audience is also saying they do school runs, buy school supplies, which includes uniforms and shoes and etc. Which is good. Come on, turning up at
Okay. Yeah,
schools.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Turning up at schools. Wow. That is a good one actually. Turning up at school to show other kids, yeah, it's not just my mum or my dad. This is my godparent.
Yeah,
That is good.
yeah.
That I love that.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That might require a conversation though, with the
Yeah.
schools just to find out what their policies are beforehand,
No, but
because
if they're turning up
some
with them,
schools,
if they're
but
turning up with their mum, like with the mum and the
oh yeah,
dad,
yeah, yeah.
I think
Then
that's
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 fine. Yeah,
that's totally fine. Or even if they have the words with the school and doing that, I think that's totally fine because the school's
yeah.
informed and stuff. But I love that. I think more of us need to do that if we do have the time to once pop to the school. I think I need to do that myself. I'm gonna try that one still. I'm gonna have to turn up at the school. I don't know if she'd be embarrassed
so,
though,
so
but yeah.
so where that's concerned, what I would also add as well, though, making sure that you diarize certain special events for them. Like if if they've got like a school play or a school production, steel pans, sports day, put those dates in your diary as well, so that you can try and be there and share those memorable and important days with them as well. When I went to, so for example, one of my goddaughters, Shayna, when her parents, both her parents, wasn't able to make it to the sports day event, they let me know, and I was like, yeah, for sure, and I went along and I was there, went with my son, her godbrother, and had a fantastic time. It's a memory that we've created, we've captured it, and yeah, it's a beautiful memory. It builds that bond.
So let's dive deep into what are some of the quality that you need as a godparent. What are some of these quality
Mm.
that you need? Is it can be for anybody, or is it that when these parents are choosing their godparents, is it certain qualities that they should be looking out for?
Yes, I would say yes and yes. So you definitely want to be wise when choosing or selecting godparents. It's not easy, but what I would say is, you know, be mindful of what your head is saying versus what your heart is saying. I say that because sometimes some people will pick a godparent because, oh, you know what, Uncle Bradley is in a well-paid job and he earns X amount of money. So he might be a good choice because he can then afford to buy da 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 da. No, that's not really the quality you want to look for. Yeah, that might be a great idea, but that's almost manipulation, and you're trying to use them to cover certain, you know what I mean? When really, as my tagline says, all they really need is time, love, and discipline. These are qualities that are invaluable. Yeah. Where currencies are concerned, money is not the only currency. Time is also a currency. And young people would really value time over money, especially if they understand the value that's in time. You spending time with them to, have a fun day, or to have a conversation, a good grounded conversation, a mature conversation, or even to hear them out. They might need someone to talk to that's separate from their parents because they don't want to be judged by their parents, or they don't feel they can approach their parents. And you could be that middle person that loves them just the same way, but you're willing to hear them without judging them. And they can be open, and to know that they can have somebody that can be open and honest to, that won't judge them, is a quality that they would find invaluable, you know? So yeah, if they're gonna only run to you because you've got money, that's not that's
That's
not a
that's
great
that's that's not the
foundation, really.
way. That's money, money,
No.
money's not the way, definitely. But has the role of like godparents like sort of changed nowadays? What do you think? Is it changing nowadays to where it was back in, say, maybe 20 years or 10 years ago? Is it changing in today's society where we live in, and with the social media and everything else that's going around? Do you think it has changed from where we came back maybe 20 years ago?
I'd say yes, and I'd also say no. I'd say no first because it's a role that still is being appointed.
Mm.
At the church that I go to, there's several christenings throughout the year. I've sold copies to churches that have bought my book in bulk. I remember there was a church in Birmingham that bought 15 copies from me
Wow.
because of the number of christenings that they're having taken place. I've had a couple of other churches in the UK who have bought 9 copies from me. Again, that's a reflection on how many christenings that they're having taken place, and so that's why I would say no. But I would also say yes because my issue is, as much as it's still happening, I don't feel that the real message of what the role involves is getting across, which is why I feel that this book is so vitally important and is needed in every church. Every church, as long as the church does christenings, because there are some churches that actually don't do it, which I found bizarre, but that's where my research took me. As long as the church does baby blessings or christenings, it should. This is a book that should be available in every assembly.
Mm.
I recommend this version for godparents who have 3 or less godchildren. I would recommend the expanded version, which is a lot larger, for godparents who have more than 3 godchildren.
Wow. So
And even in this,
you got two books.
yeah,
Wow. For one for
yeah,
so okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That is
So
good.
you can,
So
you
say
can
that
see the
again so they can
difference in
see.
the.
So they can see. Say that again what you just said. So what's the first
All
book?
right, so let me go through the differences. So with the first one, this first one here, yeah, raising
Yep.
up role models. This is the first one that I put out, and this one is a condensed, concise version that came out first. And that this came out first simply because I was still working on this one. There's so much content that I needed to put together that
Mm.
whilst people were waiting on this one, while the world was waiting on this one, they didn't know. I released this one to come out first.
Yeah.
So this one I say is ideal for those who have 3 or less godchildren.
Yep.
But if you have more than 3 godchildren, I would definitely recommend the Ambassadors Edition, which is an expanded version, which has a lot more in there, and it's got a lot more. So within it, you have a form within there that you can actually fill in regarding your godchild. So you can fill in information about your godchild, their date of birth, the hospital they were born in. Here's an example without giving too much any personal information away. But yeah, so you've got the forms in there. In
Yep.
the first one, where I said if you've got 3 or less, there's only 3 forms in that one. But if you've got more, this one has a lot more forms in there.
Yep.
And then yeah, so you can write down what their occupation is, because some godchildren, some of your godchildren, if you're reconnecting with your godchild and your godchild is a teenager already, or maybe they're in their 20s, maybe even in their 30s, and you're thinking, man, I can't get back in contact with my godchildren. It's been too long. That's the wrong way to think. Once you read
Mm,
this book, it's never too late. It's never. I've had some people say to me, "Oh, but my godchild is in their 30s now, and they've got their own children, so they don't need me now." No, but you've got far more years of life experience than they have, especially where children is concerned. So, and you never know what they might be going through as a parent. So
that's true.
your valuable insights and wisdom could be just what they need. So reconnecting with them could be very vital.
And that's true what
But
you're
just to
saying.
also,
That's
yeah, go for it.
absolutely true. What you're saying by reconnecting. Sometimes, in our lives we don't play that role as a godparents. But as you were saying, we can make that reconnection. No matter how old
Yeah.
they are, we can make a change starting from today. Say, for example, we can make that change and start making an impact, even if they are in their
Hmm.
30s or upwards, as I think you said, which is very important. It can start at any
Hmm.
time. Guys out there,
That's
it
right.
can start at any time. We do need to be taking it more serious. The youth today are facing a big challenge. The world out there, boy, it's getting
Yeah.
really serious out there. But just a quick one, Martin. Someone did ask,
Yeah.
when you're saying discipline, can you explain to what extent and give an example of when you had to do that personally?
Okay, so I'm guessing they're talking about where this reference is saying all they really need is time, love, and discipline.
Yeah.
So time, just to go over that. So time is obviously giving of yourself, giving of your time, making time, quality time available for them. Love is basically just showing them what love looks like through your interaction, through building the bond, being non-judgmental, and those kind of things. But where discipline is concerned, it's not so much the spare the rod and spoil the child type of discipline, but more so, as I break down in the book, more so you as a role model or you as a godparent expressing or demonstrating rather what it looks like to be disciplined. So, for example, if you we have to manage ourselves. We have to manage our emotions. We have to manage our anger. We have to manage our money management, being disciplined in these areas, being disciplined with our time, you know, um, and explaining the importance of these type of disciplines. What does it look like to manage your anger? Well, if you don't manage your anger and you fly off the handle all the time, which sadly we're painted as a community, a black community, of not being able to manage our anger. If we need to flip that on its head and show that we can be calm, we can be collected, we can be focused, we can speak intelligently. Uh, and in doing that, we're then demonstrating to our godchildren that there is another way to handle ourselves. We don't have to fly off the handle. Likewise, explaining of time. So there's a saying that is quite well known, and for those who might not know it, where time is concerned, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. But if you're late, it's unacceptable. For example, if you're meant to be at a meeting at 9 o'clock, you want to try and get there 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes early. Let's say for an interview, a job interview. If it's at 9 o'clock, you want to try and get there 10, 15 minutes early. That way you're on time. If you get there at 9 o'clock, you're on time, you've arrived at 9 o'clock. But really, have that mindset that you're late. And of course, if you reach there 5 minutes past 9, it's unacceptable. You're late already. And this is something I had to learn because growing up, as much as I've had different jobs over the years, it was only in my last job that I really learned the value of time and being on time, because I would always be the type of person who would try to leave home within that time frame that I needed to get to my destination. And sometimes I'd make it, sometimes I wouldn't. But that was always my mind frame. I was always trying to do that until I ended up being in a job where time was critical. And I was like, yo, this ain't working. this is not working. If I keep up this mindset, I'm gonna lose my job. So I was like, well, what do I do about this? How do I rectify this situation? And I thought about, okay, let me make the clocks 5 minutes faster or 10 minutes faster. That didn't work because I knew that the clocks were fast, and I was still making the same mistakes. So what I had to do then was just change my thinking with regards to what time I meant to start, as in like I had to trick myself. So for example, if I needed to start, let's say 9 o'clock again, I would tell myself I'm meant to start at 8:30. So that way I'd forget about the 9 o'clock. I'd condition myself I'm meant to be there at 8:30. So if I'm leaving out with the intention to get there at 8:30, even if I get there 5 or even 10 minutes late, I'm actually still early. Imagine that.
Mm.
That's what worked for me. That's what saved my job. So yeah, so when I say discipline, it's about being disciplined and teaching what those discipline principles look like.
So what would you say, like this person asks a question, they've got two godchildren and have never seen them. The parents has moved away and never kept in contact. What could we say with that one?
Yeah, so I've had many of these questions come up before. Thank you, first and foremost, to the individual and that question. It's a great question. Fortunately, we live in an age where technology has brought us together around the world. So it's really almost like it's real difficult to not be able to get in contact with someone unless they've specifically like blocked you out of their life. You can usually track down people if it's really just a thing where you've kind of lost contact and you getting back in contact wouldn't be too much of an issue. It's really not too hard where technology is concerned,
Mm.
especially through the different platforms that
Through
are
social
out there.
media.
Right. However, that said, and I really want to stress this, this is reconnecting with your godchildren needs to be, Baba, you can't come over here, I'm live. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Reconnecting with your godchildren is such a important task that it needs to be done right, in the sense that you have to treat it like you've got one shot at this, because you reconnecting with them without reading this book could look like this. Hey, Rosie, how you doing? Da, 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 da. It's been a while. It's me. It's your godfather. Who? Who are you? Yeah, I'm your godfather. This, that, the other. I don't know who you are. I ain't got time for this, man. I'm busy. I've got things I need to do with. Yeah, but it's me. Are you gonna pick up the phone again and try? No. That was your one attempt done. So I stress that these books are here so that you are prepared for this reconnection. The reconnection is vital. It's been years. It might have been months, it might have been weeks, but if it's been years, especially if it's been decades, you need something you need some skills, you need some strategies under your belt to prepare you for reconnecting, um, and to potentially face rejection and know how to overcome that rejection, because they possibly need you more than they actually know.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've got to be in that right position to reconnect with them.
Definitely. Definitely. But guys, as well, please, if you do have any questions, there's the phone number there at the bottom. But also on the show today, I have the book, guys. I have the
Hey.
book with me. This book is going to be going to someone for absolutely free. And I'm going to tell you a bit later on how you can get your hands on this book. Guys, this is what I do. I give away people's
I
books
love
and
it.
stuff who come on this show. So, guys,
I love
if
it.
you do want this book, keep on tuning and keep on staying on. Don't let me see you stop dropping numbers there and going, because this book is what you need. If you are a godparent, you need this book. But we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to dive more deeply into stuff. So we're going to quickly just take a quick
Amazing.
break.
What's up, everyone? This is Leon Brown, CEO and co-founder of Elevation Effects, London's #1 financial education and trading company. And right now, you are locked in with DJ Purpose on the Just Talk Black Show. Just Talk Black Show is your home for everything community related, business, education, finance, relationships. And we've got to run this up and make sure we help DJ Purpose make this the #1 show in the world for Black community related topics. So listen, I want you to like, share, and subscribe on every single comment you can. And make sure you keep it locked in with DJ Purpose on the Just Talk Black Show.
Just Talk Black. Hi, my name is Janice Ramos. I am a soul jazz singer and I am also an abstract portrait artist. I had my interview with the Just Talk Black show and I loved it. I had the pleasure of being in that show and can I just say I was very well received. The host was spectacular. He asked the right questions, interesting questions. That got me thinking a little bit. It was an experience. I liked it. So if you're someone who is a business owner, if you're someone who's an entrepreneur, you know, trying to do something for yourself, trying to promote your business, your product, hit them up. You won't regret it. See you.
For a limited time, 10 Black-owned businesses can promote their brand on the Just Talk Black Show absolutely free.
Black men in the UK, mental health, fatherhood, relationships, culture. This is our conversation.
The Be Uzuri platform was launched by Biddy to promote much more than just being active. Featuring talented trainers from around the world, Be Uzuri brings you representation that matters. Be Uzuri Fitness is an online wellness platform for Black women, featuring not only workouts for the gym, yoga and Pilates, but also affirmations, meditation, and African Caribbean plant-based recipes. Featuring a huge variety of female trainers and resources from around the world, Be Uzuri has brought together content that enables Black women to truly appreciate what well-being means. The Be Uzuri platform is here to inspire and empower your fitness and wellness journey. Check out the website or download the Android app today.
So guys, let me just quickly say, if you are there watching live, please do hit the like button. And also, if you are new, subscribe to the show. With you subscribing to the show, it gets me pushed out there more. And with you liking, it even tells people to watch this show. Guys, this is for the Black community. This is what I do. I want to give back to you guys. This platform is for you guys. So if you are listening there and you are in the chat, also you can phone in. Don't be shy. You can phone in and ask questions. So please, I see one person do smash that like. Please. I can see people watching. If we can get 21 likes, I can see 22 people. Come on. If we get the 22 people to hit that like button, guys. And guys, if you are a business owner, as you saw in the advertisement, or you've got a testimony that you've got a story to tell on the Just Talk Black show, this platform is for you. So please get in touch with me. You can get me on Instagram and LinkedIn. I will be showing near the end of the show all the places that you can get us and my actual phone number you can get us. So we're going to dive back deep and we're going to speak back to Martin again, and we're gonna continue on this conversation. I don't even think we're gonna get into the role models because godparents, wow, that topic, we have a lot to dive into. But please guys, please hit that like button. So Mark, let's dive deep back into this. So how can godparents step in when parents are struggling? I think that's a good one there. How can they step in?
So that's a great question. I would say it's going to depend on where they're at relationship wise. Are you already in a relationship with, the family, the dynamics? Are you a part of that, that whole setup. If you are, it's not too hard. They already know that you're there for them. They already know that you've got that support. And I can speak from personal experiences. Every year when my goddaughter, has her birthday, I'm there. Her parents know that I'm there to support. If you're estranged, how can you step in? This is where you need to get the strategies and skills under your belt so that you can be there, and it's not so difficult. It's going to take humility. So one of the strategies that I talk about is forgiveness and apologizing. In fact, I have a chapter called Apologizing and Forgiveness. This is because apologizing should be seen as a strength rather than a weakness. I think that there are those who believe that apologizing is something that only weak people do, or you only do that if you are in the wrong. But rather, if you can kind of put it at the forefront of your mind to say that, this individual's life is valuable, it's very important, and you can actually see that you can impact their life for the better, especially if you're a more mature person now than you was at the time when you was appointed as a godparent. Consider having a phone conversation and starting with an apology. It's a great question you asked. Even with the example that I gave, where I said if somebody picked up the phone, said, "Hey, I'm your godfather," this, that, the other, and they said, "Look, I don't know who you are," this is where the apology would be perfect. "Hey, Rebecca, this is such and such. You might not know who I am, but I just want to let you know that, I'm one of those people who was appointed as a godparent to you. And I just want to start off by saying, look, I'm so sorry. So, so, so sorry. I know you might be busy and what have you, but I just want to let you know that I hadn't been there over the years, had such and such going on and so on and so forth. But I was wondering if it would be okay to, just check in on you from time to time, just see how you're doing. Because as I said, I'm in a better place. I've come across this book called Raising Role Models, and I'd like to be, if it's possible, your accountability partner. I might be saying too
Yeah,
much, but you would know where you're at,
yeah.
where that's concerned. Yeah, yeah.
The more of the
It's
question
a
was,
great entry point.
the more of the question was, if the parents are struggling now, for us to step in as godparents, like
Mm,
stepping in. You got that relationship with the child, but you're stepping in because where we are godparents and we do see the parents, they've got a lot on. Maybe they've got 2, 3 kids, 1 kid, whatever, but they are
mm,
struggling because they're doing everything. Maybe they're single parents and they're doing everything, and you can see
mm,
they're struggling. Now to step in, what
mm.
borders should we be
Oh, what does
stepping
that look
in
like?
on that? Yeah, what does that look like for us to be stepping in and saying to the mum, you know what, take a seat back. I'm going to take them out for the day or something like that.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Again, experience of my own. You know, yeah. So one of my godchildren, they lost their father.
Okay.
So it's a single parent household. So, when possible, it's a, phone call or a message. Hey, I'm available this weekend, or I'm available on such and such a day. Is it possible for, young man to come and spend some time with his godbrothers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Da, 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 please, and that frees them up so that they're able to get certain things done, because having children around you, those who are parents know what it's like. So by all means, when you've got time to yourself, offering to take them off their hands for a while, that in itself is a gesture that means the world, and would really just
Mm,
allow them to kind of just have their head cleared, have their own breathing space, be able to probably rectify something or work on something that they've been putting off. They might have their own dreams or entrepreneurial goals or
yeah.
projects that they're working on, where freeing up their time to have them for the weekend or for a day, that in itself makes the world of difference. And again, it's inexpensive. It doesn't have to be, you taking them to Disneyland or to Chessington World of Adventures. It could be, you take them to a science museum, or to a park to play football, or there's so many different creative things that we can do
Yeah.
um, to free up their time. So that's what
So
I'd say.
let's look at it from a point of view now that they are growing up without a godparent. Have you ever had a chat with someone who hasn't got a godparent? Have
Oh
you ever
yeah,
come across that?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
what does that look like
There's
to them? And what's the outcome? What's the outcome of growing with a godparent and one with not growing with a godparent?
so having a godparent, the godparent ideal or the godparent formula is largely a Christian or faith-based formula, and you'll find it in faith-based countries. So here, America, it's big in America, as I said, Greece, South American countries like Spain. You'll find that the role of a godparent is prominent and it's out there, it's taken seriously. Even in some of the African countries as well, Ghana, Nigeria, it's a role that's taken very seriously. So you'll find it within communities that are also of that kind of mindset. Now, those who are not so much into the faiths or religions or what have you, you know, you won't really have that there for them. So of course, there certainly will be people who are not godparents. And of course, if they're Sikh, Muslim, so on and so forth, they won't be godparent. They won't be godchildren or have godparents, more than likely. So there is that. There is that difference. Yeah, having active godparents means that you have somebody that is playing an accountability role in their life. So it can provide qualities that instill things like the good discipline that I was talking about earlier. Having mm, you could be more well-rounded because you've got somebody that you can look to that's playing a mentor role, whereas somebody who doesn't have that, not saying that they're going to always be worse off, because that doesn't have to be the case. There's no hard and fast rule, but it just means that they probably don't have someone they can actually externally go to,
Yeah.
which is the vitally important thing that we're trying to address here, especially in our community.
Let's have a look at your books quickly that you've done. Let me bring up your books. So who may be coming late, let me just show you the books that Martin has done. So guys, these are the book that he has produced. He's written these books himself, which is really, really good. If you need to get your hand, especially on this book here, I am going to be giving it away, guys. Soon, very, very soon, I will be giving it away. Mark, just tell us about some of the service that that you provide, because you've got your own company. What are some of the services that you provide?
Okay, thank you. So there's several. Let's see how many I can dig out. So my company is called PAD, which stands for Progression and Development. Progression and Development is a service or a social enterprise that provides empowerment, helping individuals become better versions of themselves. It provides workshops on various different topics, whether it's financial education and strategic tips. It provides workshops on health, wealth, and well-being, relationship advice. What else have I covered? Black history, and also most recently, what I cover in Grand Legacy is looking at how we can rebuild the family and talk about vitally important things like wills, trusts, and funeral planning. These are vitally important things that we don't tend to talk about, but I'm sure we all know families that have feuds and arguments over who's leaving what for who and so on and so forth. So I have things like that that are dealt with in these workshops and seminars that I run. In fact, if if the listeners were to pop over to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/progression and development, and follow that page, you'll see where all my events are going to be posted, and they can keep in touch with the next upcoming seminar that's going to be happening on the 8th of November, which will be his story, his legacy, where I'll be addressing several of those things
Yeah.
in that seminar.
So just quickly touching
Uh,
on, because the
yeah.
time is running short. We're gonna have to definitely bring you back on the show, because Boy, we've got a lot to talk about. We've still got role models to go into, but that is going to have to be definitely on a next show. So I'm going to definitely be bringing you back, and we're going to be talking about role models within the Black community. How important is that to be a role model? And what does that look like in the Black community?
Mm,
So I think
mm.
definitely I'm going to have to bring you back on the show for that. But just quickly on the last couple of stuff, what practice steps should godparents and mentor take right now to support a young person out there?
Be bold, be courageous, build yourself, stay relevant is probably another key one, especially when you look at the age gap between a mentor and a mentee, or a parent and their child. The age gap is a real factor of where relevance is concerned. So just looking at music, the difference in the music genre between what the parents listen to compared to what children listen to is a world apart, to the point where as a parent, if you don't know what they're talking about, even as a godparent, if you don't know the music that they listen to, they're not going to come to you or have conversations with you about the music that they listen to. So when you hear the music that they're listening to, and you're like, "What's that foolishness you're listening to?" Like straight away, they're like, "There's a disconnect." So sometimes it's about taking the time out to understand where they're coming from, taking some time out to actually just listen so you can understand what it is that they're listening to before you pass judgment or before you make a comment. Because to comment on it from a place of ignorance will undo a lot of work where the building is concerned. And I've got experiences on that as well. Stay relevant, stay up to date with what young people are involved in, and that's how you mentioned about role models. We wouldn't have time to go into that, but just to give a shout out to some role models who are doing exactly that. And it's his birthday today, Anthony King. He's doing great work in the community. It's his birthday today, so salute to you, sir. Um, he does fantastic work in the community. I'm often going through his area, and I'm seeing like a whole trailer load of young people that he's taking them out. He's taking them
Mm.
different places, and he's just doing the most.
Is
You
that
know,
Anthony King who's a rap? He done a song or something? Has he done a song? Is that the Anthony
not
King?
as far as I'm aware of. No,
Okay,
not
wrong Anthony
not,
King
not
then.
as,
I thought it's another Anthony King. I know Anthony King in the gospel industry that produces music and doing a lot of good work out there in the community.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I might need to check out who he is as well, because I've got a lot of fantastic music coming that I feel will really transform and touch lives and impact
So
thousands, if not millions of people.
just a quick one on the last couple of points before the show's coming to an end. What message would you give to someone who feels they're not good enough to be a role model? That's yeah,
Yeah, that's a deep one.
that's a deep one, isn't it?
I would say, yeah, because that's a real thing. It's a real thing. People have self-doubt. People have imposter syndrome and all these kind of things. But it's all a false narrative based on what societies tends to project on people. You always have something that you can give to other people. You could have gone through the worst experiences. You could have gone through traumas on top of traumas. But the fact that you've gone through those traumas, there are people that are going to come up and experience similar traumas that you've come through, that you're able to help them navigate because you've been through that. So you might feel like, oh, I'm not a role model quality, but the tragedies that you've experienced, as difficult and as dark as it might have been, you're in a better position than most who haven't been through what you've been through to help guide them. So yeah, I would say to them, don't believe that lie.
Yeah. Somebody put a question there. I'll just read out quickly. Why does it specifically for the Black community? Shouldn't it not be for the community as a whole? I think it's a limited mindset if it is limited to one.
Is that regarding my book? Because
No,
my book is
that
not just
no. So
okay.
basically, what they're saying is that, and the godparents, I think, as a whole, it should be as a whole community instead of just as one. And I think there's two sides of it. I think to make the community, you have to do yourself first. So you have to work on yourself as a godparent first, and then within you being a godparent and confronting yourself, now everybody else is doing that. That's where the community come together. And yes, it does take a village to raise a child, as they say, and this is what it should be. It should take a village to raise a child, but I think it starts with individual work first
Yes,
before it goes to the whole
absolutely.
community. And I think if I'm correct in what I'm saying, if that's what you're saying, but I do believe that you have to always start with yourself first, and it shouldn't. I get what you're saying. It shouldn't just be limited to one, and it should never be limited to just one person growing up our kids within our Black community. It is a responsibility of the whole community. But how do you get a community to come together if we're all divided? So it takes that self work and that education first, of educating people of what it means as a community, for number one, because I think the Black community has lost that as a whole. I think that we really need to start working back on that word community and working together and supporting our youngsters out there to raise. So I don't, anything else you want to say on that sort of mark before we touch on?
Yeah, just to say that look, I'm looking to try and bring, me and my team, I should say, are looking to try and impact our community. So I have a record out there called Beautiful Star, and produced by, shout out to DJ Frenzy for producing the track. And it features Ava B, great vocals from Ava B. We've got some fantastic things in the vault that we want to bring out that's going to really touch lives and impact the community. There's so much coming through. We're just looking for sponsors to help making this thing come through faster than we're able to do it at the moment. But I really feel that we can make a huge difference through the language of music and visuals as well. I think it will help to solidify and bring the community together. Absolutely. Because even in that very same song I'm talking about, there's a line in there where I say that I'm daring to ask if somewhere in your past is your community still wearing a mask, because we are estranged from one another. I see fear in your heart. Instead of unity, we're tearing apart. And I say that because we're all walking around with a mask on our face, pretending that we're okay, pretending that we're this and stuff like that, rather than being real with each other, rather than being transparent or vulnerable. We're pretending. And we cut our eye at one another, and before you know it, something's kicked off. We're estranged from one another instead of unifying, we're tearing apart from each other. So, and imagine I'm addressing this in a song. That's just, so when someone hears that now, and they're like, you know what, that's true. And then Ava B's laying her vocals, and she's saying, if you only knew how precious you are, you're a natural and beautiful star. If you only knew how precious you are, a fearful and wonderful star. And I'm just reading out the lyrics from the song,
Yeah.
from the chorus. Imagine what I'm saying in the verses, where I'm talking about mental health. I'm talking about how vital Black women are. I'm talking about like various different topics in the verses, and that's
Yeah.
just one song. And I've got so many more in the vault yet to come.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I can impact the community that way.
Definitely. So you are an artist. You got your songs out there. I will be bringing up your social media where people can find you on. But guys, I'm gonna do this thing now with the book. So guys, all you've got to do is literally ring in the show, and you have to ask our guest a question. Just ask him one question.
I like that. I like that.
So that's all they've got to do. They've just really got to just call in, and that's all they have to do. So guys, just call in. That's all you have to do. It's literally call in. So while we're waiting them
That's
just to call in, if they do call in, Mark, if you could host a table with any Black person living or past, who would you invite to that table and why?
Oh man, and it's one person. One person, yeah. Uh, Man, there's so many. Who do I prioritize out of? You've got living or non-living, you've got Kobe Bryant, you've got Curtis Jackson, you've got Miles Monroe, you've got Martin Luther King. Man, I'd pr I'd probably say, oh wow, oh man, oh man. Let's go with Miles Monroe. I'd have to go with Miles Monroe. I know enough about him. I see him. I watch him all the time. Um, but yeah, I'll go with Miles Monroe.
Why would you say Mars Monroe?
Yeah, I'm wondering that myself because there's so much I already know about him. In fact, I wrote a song. I wrote a song called "Your Future Is in Your Vision,"
Yeah.
and it was after I'd finished writing this song. I then got one of his books, and it's a book called
1 minute. I think we've got a call
Hey.
coming in. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing today? You're calling the Just Talk Black Show. Are you going to ask our guest today a question to win the chance of winning this book?
Who is it? Who is it
Well,
first? Who is it? I thought I recognized that voice. Who is it?
Oh, you know the person?
Nah.
Wow. Wow.
Nah.
So tell us who
do you
you
know
are
what?
first.
I don't actually want to win the book, but I just wanted to call
Okay.
in. He knows who it is.
So
Yeah.
ask him a question. Let's get on to that. Let's ask him a question then.
Do you know what, Mark? The question that I want to ask, which is going to be a little bit controversial, but I think
Oh.
it's really important. By the way, I'm Jen. Yeah,
Jen, nice
but
to meet you, Jen.
yeah, it's a bit controversial, but I think it's really important because this has really split the community and people and what's going on. We see what's going on in America at the moment,
Yep.
and this guy that was shot yesterday and sadly passed away. You know, he was actually really revitalizing the youth in their belief system of whatever he was doing.
Mm.
And I'm just
Mm.
wondering if, like we've got the Andrew Tates and all these people that, children are kind of adhering to. So how do we become, those people that are, interested enough or have the mindset to actually grab the children in a way that, they would want to kind of follow the better messages. Do you know what I mean? The better things to do rather than some of the things that we think is not very wise.
So that's to you, Mark. Can you answer that question?
So in a nutshell, you're saying how do we grab their attention? How do we grab the attention of the youth?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, they obviously are being taken by a lot of these people. Now, like I said, with this guy
Mm.
that passed away yesterday, whether you like him or you hate
Mm.
him, he was doing the job. He was grabbing the attention of the young people.
Mm.
So
Mm.
how do we kind of, if we want to send our message to the young people, what do we need to do? Because what is our representation? If we think of what a black man is, what a black woman is, what is the first thing that comes to our mind? What are our children emulating to be like?
I would say it's a difficult question to answer in the sense that we don't really have a representative that I'm aware of that can speak for us on a whole. You might say, okay, we have the Akalas of the world, fantastic, speaker and what have you, but not everybody's going to be listening to them. And because we don't have, any more gatekeepers now, everyone has access to their own platform. You know, there's
Yeah.
no one really to be accountable to anymore. So it's difficult to kind of say that somebody can be that person.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
yeah. So what I tend to try and say is become the most influential person that you can be within your own sphere of influence. Become the most important person that you can within your own sphere of influence. Meaning, whatever your network is, whoever you're able to reach, whoever you currently have access to, and even if that's 2 people, 15 people, 39 people, be influential to that demographic, to that reach that you have, rather than trying to be the voice of a larger community. If that's your calling, because if it's only 2 people that you can impact, those 2 people that you impact could be the 2 people that then go on and
Mark, we're gonna have
influence
to leave it there. We've got
1,000.
another guest and want to call in, so we've got some callers coming in. I hope that answered, but we'll come back to that if we can.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You're calling into the Just Talk Black show. You got a question for our guest today?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So is he in contact with his godparents, and what does that relationship looks like?
Oh Lord.
Can I just quickly just say, can I just 1 minute, just before you answer that question, I'm going to say to people, if you are calling in, can you just wait until we finish with a question and then make your call in? Because I have to let the people who call in get their question out and then let Martin answer it. So just wait until Martin finish answering the question, and then I will say next caller, you can call in and then you can make that call.
Okay.
Go ahead, Martin. Answer
Okay.
the question.
So who am I speaking to?
It's Keisha.
Hey, Keisha, how you
Hey,
doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Great question, man. Okay, so my godparents, am I in contact with them? So I had three godparents. I had 2 godmothers and 1 godfather. My godfather passed away before I was able to kind of really know who
Oh,
he was.
sorry to hear
His
that.
wife, that's okay. His wife, she's still alive.
Okay.
But I'm not able to communicate with her. I'm not sure where to reach her. I've tried on several occasions, so she's outstanding at present.
Okay.
But my other godmother, Geraldine, shout out to Geraldine. She's absolutely amazing. She's been there beside, my mom and everything else and supporting me. She has my first single that dropped 4 months ago on repeat. Super proud of what I'm doing and what have you. So she's definitely there and in my corner. So
All right. Good.
Can I
Thank
ask
you.
you? Can I ask you a question? Are you a godparent?
I am a godparent, yes.
And how is that for you?
As Martin said in the beginning, I try to treat them like my own kids.
Okay.
Touch base, see how they're doing, how they're doing in school, take them out to the park, to the cinema, wherever. I just try to keep them, just show them the same love I show to my kids, basically.
And
Yeah.
that is brilliant. I love that. And
fantastic.
That's the summary of a summary. Love them like your own kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love that. I'm going to use that.
I've even
now.
taken my godchild, one of my godchild on holiday with me abroad. So
Wow.
yeah.
I need to take a picture of your book. I need to do that myself. Like, you lot are shaming me up here. Serious. You lot are putting me to shame. But thanks for calling in anyway.
Thank you.
We're going to leave the line open for anyone else who'd like to call in. Please make your call in now. Make a call in now quickly. Just a quick one. So what they're saying, we need to have a place where we can suggest topics that are relevant for these times. Definitely will be bringing that. I will be bringing a form, actually, guys. We are building a website at the moment that you can actually put your topics that you would like us to discuss on the Just Talk Black show. This is for you guys. This is for the Black community. This is what we do. Each and every Thursday we are live here. Let's see. Okay, let's see this question. I would like to ask a question. Why do we always have to look outside for role models?
I wonder what they mean by that.
That's what I wonder.
What do they mean by
Would you like to
outside?
call in? If you like to call in, we can answer that question. It just depends what
Role
you mean.
Role models can come in all different shapes and sizes. As I've addressed in some of my workshops that I run, role models can even be your enemies to some degree, in the sense that you can extrapolate some of the qualities that they might have, or you can extrapolate, certain things, certain characteristics that are usable, and leave all the bad stuff aside. Role models can be there's so many. I mean, I have multiple mentors, and for different areas of my life. So if it's like financial, spiritual, entrepreneurial, I've got different mentors. So shout out to the likes of Pat Reed and Claudine Reed. Shout out to the likes of Alika, you're amazing. Shout out to Marvin Sanguinetti, Dr. Marvin Sanguinetti, amazing individual. There's so many mentors who I've really just been supported by over the years. Reginald, like it's you can have role models and
Just answering
various
on that
different.
question, maybe I'm presuming, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe they're saying, why did it maybe have to be a friend outside of it? Does it have to be a friend? Can it be a family member within
No,
the family? Can it be your
no, of
brother?
course,
Can it be your sister? Or how does it work?
of course. So essentially, it's going to come down to who has the capacity,
Yeah.
who has the skill set, who has the maturity, who has the wherewithal to be able to manage your vulnerability.
Okay, they did
Who,
they
who- you
did
know who
actually say
who
that.
can be
Is what I
yeah, who
mean
can be
is what's
confidential.
Yeah, what's wrong with the people in our household? Okay, I see the question. Yeah. So they're talking about people in our household. I get it. And to me, personally, a godparent could be anybody. Anybody who can
Absolutely.
have that role, that positive role within, and take it serious. Literally can take it serious
Right,
and teach your kids.
right.
That you're sitting at the, because the godparent to me has got the word parent in it. That word parent is, as
Yeah.
your caller
hmm
called in and said, you're treating them like your own kids. So it's what
hmm
you want. You want the best for them. So I believe, I think you
Yeah.
could just choose anybody. Personally, it could be your brother, it could be your sister. But I'm gonna ask Alicia.
Mm,
Alicia, I did see you call. If you are still watching, I'm waiting for your call before we come to the end of the show. So call in. I know you had a
mm.
question. You was calling in. So please, Alicia, if you're out there, you are listening, give us a quick call. So guys, just hit this like button. Why the like? I see people liking this, which is good. And that support pushes this show out to more people out there, which will help the show.
Mm.
If you do have any topics and stuff that you do want to put out, I'm going to just bring up my the social media, which is the Just Talk Black Show on Instagram. You got us on Facebook as well, and you got us LinkedIn, and you have my mobile number there. So if you also want to just WhatsApp me a message and just say which sort of topic that you would like to talk about, you can do that as well. So you can WhatsApp me as well. And you can also find me on Instagram, which is one of our platforms that we are basically always on. So, Alicia, if you are out there, before I do call it a day on the show, because I know that you did call in and I know you got a good question to ask. So if you are out there, please just give us a quick call. But guys, all right, I don't think she's going to call in. But as I was saying, anybody do want the book? I know if you did call in, you didn't say that you want the book. So, boy, I know people called you and asked for the some questions. But if you do want a book, make that last quick call and you have to say, I want the book as well, when you answer the question.
Okay.
And that might be my fault not saying that, but I'm giving that opportunity. Anything you want to say, Mark?
Yeah. So let me put another question out there as well, in case people want another, like if they're shy of phoning in. At the top of the show, I said to you, pick a number between 1 and 28, and you said 10. I would ask the listeners to drop in the comments a number between 1 and 28, which you think is the day that I contact my godchildren each month. Yeah?
But they're still
Drop
going
in
to
the
call in because
comments.
we need a number. So I need a
Oh,
number
is
to
it?
speak to them. Yeah, that's the thing about it. We do need them to call in so I can take the
Okay.
number.
Okay.
So it
That's
has
true.
to be,
That's true.
unfortunately, a call in. So when you do call in, I can get your number and I can give you a call back and I can get your address, because I need your address to send the book to. But if not, we'll be giving it away on the next show. The next show which is coming up, guys, if you are just tuning in. So the next show will be Black Men's Time. These guys will be talking about them growing up in the UK as black men. We will be talking about relationships and culture and many different other topics out there as well we'll be talking about. So, guys, this is the next week's show.
Elisa Church.
Alicia is calling in. Let's answer that one. Hold on. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yep.
I want the book.
You want the book? You get the book. You definitely get the book. But before you get the book, you have to ask him a question before you get that book.
Okay. All right. I hear you.
What question you got for me, Alicia?
What question you gonna ask?
Hello, Martin. I've learned so much. Seriously, I'm a
Wow.
I'm a godmother of 12 children, and I gave birth to none of them.
Wow.
But they're all mine. Like the previous caller, they're all mine, and I'm very instrumental in their lives. My question to you is is there any a time when you bring your godchildren together at all? Do you make that happen at all, where they can come together, learn from each other? Just a question.
Yeah, fantastic question. Thank you. It'd be great to know what area you're representing as well. So yeah, South London. Woo! Awesome.
London.
So yeah, so that's something that I've been actively trying to do. So I run seminars every year, and it's always been my desire to have my godchildren meet each other at an event like one of my seminars. So I do that. So there's been occasions where out of the 7 of them, the most I've had be able to get together is 3 out of the 7, because they're in different parts. It's not easy to get them all together. So there was one occasion I've had 3 of them.
What about Zoom? What about Zoom link up? Come on.
Yeah, I've not. Yeah, the technology's there.
Technology's there. Try that one.
It's something to think about. I don't know if I would enjoy it or if it would feel. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that, but that's an option for sure. I would prefer the. I would prefer the in person, but yeah, I guess I can, or maybe a WhatsApp. A WhatsApp call would probably be easier.
Well, thank you for the book. I'm looking forward to it. I need it.
Yeah, you need the book. That's good. And just quickly, Alicia, you've been listening to the show every week. Just give you a little testimony about the show, because I know me and you talk about the show and everything. Could you just give a little testimony about the show, because you've been tuned in every week, which is is amazing.
Absolutely, and I've been there from the beginning, and it's been amazing. It has been a good show. It's a platform that allows us to speak about the issues that we may not have spoken about or not have come together to be able to expose. And what you're doing, DJ Purpose, is that you're bringing the community together. You're bringing them to a platform where we can talk unapologetically about being black, and we make no apology for that. So every week I've learned something new every single week with the guests that have come on. They've enriched, they've inspired. And my declaration is that it will go from strength to strength and glory to glory. You just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job for the community. It's a unique show, very different. And you just keep doing what you're doing. Please plug in, please spread the word, please subscribe. There's no commission here, by the way. It's just been a really well done.
No, I love that. You're a star, and thank you for tuning in each and every week. And if there's guys out there, please do support the show. Tune in every week and tell your friend, tell your family. And as she said, it's with this show, we don't apologize for being black. We don't apologize for talking, about our community. We do not apologize. We talk about this because this is what we need. We need to build our community. We need to build, guys. And, this show is not just about talk. I do listen to every guest on the show, and I do plan to put many events on to educate and to support our community. I do eventually and foresee in the future of open up a building where young people could come and adults could come and learn about their culture, and also to hold events that will go back into our pockets, back into our community, and building schools around the place and building business. This is my goals. This is my dreams. So guys, I'm doing this and I love doing this, but I have a bigger dream out there, so Mark, just quickly, just wrap this up for us. Anything you just want to quickly say?
Yeah, for sure. A big shout out to Tiffany. She was one of the first people that bought this book, and when she bought it and read it, she went back online and bought 13 more copies and distributed it to people as Christmas presents. One of those people was her own godmother, who, after reading it, phoned her back 10 days later, crying down the phone, saying, "Man, how come I've not been, doing these things?" And since then, they've been in contact with each other each month. Likewise, her herself, she's been in contact with her own goddaughter through, reconnected with her goddaughter through reading this book. I'd like to also give a shout out to people to say, look, there's a song out there called Beautiful Star. It's an amazing song that I want you all to listen to and share it, just like you're sharing this platform as well, because it's impacting lives. See the comments that are in there. And other than that, I think I've done most of the shout outs. I had some sad news this morning of someone who passed on and transitioned. My heart goes out to the Rowe family, and likewise to the Queensborough family of recent. But yeah, I just love doing what I'm doing, and I hope that I can be impacting our community for the better, and get our young people, our youth, supported with real role models and godparents who are reconnecting and impacting their lives, so that we can really just reshape our community. Because without us being there for them, we're setting them up to fail, So yeah.
No, and I want to just thank you for coming on the show. Really enjoy this topic. I'm going to have to definitely 100% bring you back on the show, and we can talk about more into role models. And there's so much more that we can touch on. So I am going to be back in contact with you and book you on the show again, because role models, we need that in the Black community. We definitely need that. And I know you're an artist as well. So I do want to next time play your song, because you sent me your song, and I do want to get that on the show, because you are a wonderful artist, and your lyrics that you are talking is relevant to today's what you're doing and stuff. And I guess people out there just want to say thank you to you as well. There's people just saying thanks as well, and just saying well done and pick you up and all that. So Mark, just thank you for coming on the show. I will be bringing you back on to the Just Talk Black show, and we're going to leave it there with you for today. And thank you very much for your support, and thank you for letting that knowledge what we need to be doing as godparents and role models as well within the Black community and for the youngsters. And as you said, guys, what he did say in one of the show, which you can take away, godparents, if you're not in contact at the start, get back in contact with it if them can. And it doesn't matter if they're 30, 40, it does not matter what age they are. You can start building that relationship from today. You can build that relationship back up. Remember, maybe you are older than them, which you have the knowledge and you can help them. You can help them along their ways. Sometimes just by phoning them and asking them how they're doing. Mental health within the Black community is on the high. It's on the high, guys. Times are getting harder out there. So godparents, please take your role, which including myself. Take your role. Do what you need to do. Support the youngsters. And as I said, doesn't matter what age they are, a phone call sometimes just to ask them how you're doing can be a world to somebody. So guys, I just wanted to say a big thank you again for tuning into the Just Talk Black show. I did really love this show today, guys. So Mark, just want to say thank you for that as well. So guys, please, if you're new to the show again, please subscribe. We need you guys. We need you guys supporting. And please tune in next week to the show. As I said, we will be bringing the Black men on. We'll have 5 of them coming on and just talking about what it is to be a Black man. So ladies out there, if you want to ask them about questions about relationship, because some of them has been in marriage for, I think 35 years. Some of them has been in long relationship, long marriages. So we'll be diving in what kept these marriages for so long, and how can we improve ourselves as a Black community, and what Black men could be doing better for the community. So that is going to be one interesting topic for next week. So guys, please tune in next week. That will be one that you do not want to miss. This will be the first Just Talk Black panel discussion. This is our first panel discussion, guys, ever on a Just Talk Black show, where 5 guys are coming in, and we'll be doing much more of those. But guys, I just want to say a thank you. And if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button and subscribe. And thank you for today.
Big love to everyone tuning in. To every voice, every vibe, every black soul shining. This one's for you. Thank you for riding with the Just Talk Black show.
We started with the mic and a dream. Now your love makes the vision beam. Every like, every share, every view means the world. We honor you. You stayed locked in week by week, giving power to the words we speak. This is more than a show, it's truth. So we give this back to you.
Thank you for the love, yeah, we feel that vibe. Feel that vibe. Lift us up and keep us alive. From the heart of the block to the globe.
Let them know.
Thank you for riding with the Just Talk Black show.
Big respect to the fam who stayed through the laughs, the tears, the moves we made. You are the reason we grow and glow. Thank you for tuning to Just Talk Black show. We talk black, we talk bold, but it's you that keeps the story told. When you come and call in and vibe, you bring this whole thing to life. From black business to rising stars, we're shining bright cause you play your part. No matter where you're watching from, you are the heartbeat of this drum.
Thank you, Hawk, for the strength.
Love you show.
The fire in this black
soul glow.
One voice, one love, one flag.
Let it flow.
Thank you for watching the Just Talk Black show.
You clap back, you lift up, you ride. Together we stand in black pride. No matter the topic, deep or light, you're the reason we shine so bright. We see you, we feel you. From every screen we're grateful to. Every click, every time you show. It's love, it's real, it's Just Talk Black show.